mean, if I was to pick anyone, it would be my
The British-Chinese Workforce Heritage Project has recorded and documented the British Chinese in the UK and Hong Kong.
So in the first year, we are focusing on the seafaring, laundrying, hairdressing, catering, and the military. We have spoken to a range of faces and listened to their story.
Can I begin by asking your name?
Chinese name or English name?
Christine Yao.
Qian Zixing. Zhang Chong.
Jeremy Pang.
Jiang Zhongban.
And this interview is for the Ming-Ai London Institute British Chinese Workforce Heritage Project.
Yeah, hello.
Since the project launched in July 2012, the project has gone from the familiar street of London to the distant one of Hong Kong, to roadshow in London's Chinese community centres and walking the old streets of Limehouse, the home of the first British Chinese. The project has involved training sessions for volunteers. The project aims to be able to tell the story when the Chinese diaspora first began to arrive into London. So it's about telling a story and ensuring that histories aren't forgotten, about why as you walk around the old streets of East London, you can still find an armoured place and recognise the impact that Chinese people have had.
It is Limehouse, East London, where the story of the Chinese in London begins, with the early settlers arriving into the docks of London as sailors from as far back as 1860s, with the population steadily developing until 1920.
At a certain point of time in the 20s, Pennyfields was almost totally inhabited by Chinese. So these two small streets were inhabited by Chinese and contained Chinese shops and restaurants, but it was small.
Here, the first Chinatown, as something recognisable, began to form its own unique character. The area of Limehouse today is still marked by its connection with the sea and to the Chinese who once lived there. Limehouse takes us to Yu Chang, a former sailor, fittingly the first interviewee of the project. The Chinese laundry, a popular stereotype of the Chinese diaspora, saw growth from 1901 and by 1931 became one of the main areas of employment for the Chinese in the UK, up until the decline of the industry brought about by the availability of modern electric
No
washing machines.
hand-rinsing needed, and pop it in with the glassware, pots, pans, and silver.
The role of the Chinese diaspora in the hairdressing industry is less pronounced. Many came into the industry when the Chinatown of today in Soho was beginning to form. Jun Chen, an interviewee, talks about how people would come especially to be served by the Shanghainese barbers.
他的理发很好的，他们脸很好，因为什么呢？到我们上海理发店了，我们又干净，又他们的礼貌也好，什么东西好啊，他把那个坐在这里，你知道，这些顾客我们一看就知道了。
The Chinese food we know today rose to prominence following the Second World War. It is from this moment that the spread of Chinese restaurants, takeaways and supermarkets spread not only to the area of Soho but all across the UK and are today a feature of almost every British town. The interviewees spoke about their experiences in the catering sector and the difficulties they may encounter.
You know, growing up, we were made to work from a very, very young age. Too young, according to the law. I was washing plates in a restaurant when I was like 10. I remember I'd get paid just enough to pay for my batteries in my Walkman to last me the shift.
They used to accuse the Chinese of pinching ducks and goose, from the parks and cook them in the restaurant. But I mean, it's all hearsay.
始終咧，我都係入翻做廚房嗰行，即係冇得選擇啦。其實廚房都唔係我首選嚟嘅，不過冇得選擇咧，就要去做啦。咁入咗嗰行咧，就一定要做好佢啦。
You kind of grow up with a kind of reservation about your Chinese heritage, and you're almost embarrassed, and you're almost kind of wanting to shy away from it as much as possible.
We went to Hong Kong to document the experiences of the Chinese serving in the British Royal Navy and Army. The history of the Chinese in the military dates back to the first Chinese working as ship hands on merchant ships that were used in support roles to cover British men who were fighting.
I served in an aircraft carrier which had a lot of Hong Kong people in, and I think the affection for our Chinese colleagues goes very deep.
Our interviewees told us about their experiences while serving.
Our main objective is to provide community service to the Hong Kong residents, in particular the younger generations.
We don't have new blood. As you know, we disband the Navy. We don't have new blood come in. So I mean, one day we will just wind down.
Everything being changed, the life being changed. So this ex-servicemen or ex-servicewomen, they are difficult, to live in the same society. They find it difficult to in a transition in the civilian life, and also they are difficult to find a job.
In the past year, we have learned much about the beginnings of the Chinese workforce in London. In the second year, we will look at the community centre, healthcare and Chinese medicine, at the integration of the British Chinese. We look forward to hearing their stories.
That's all the questions I have for you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
多謝晒，多謝採訪。
Thank you so much.
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this interview.
You're welcome.